This is part 2 from the Q&A from the Andromedans. What happens when you do not complete your shadow work prior to making the transition? We can continue to say that the subconscious holds memories of the shadow coming from emotions, from traumas and such that can be carried through from this life or previous incarnations. And that soul comes into life without the memory, ironically, for the use of remembering. This way, when the lesson presents itself, the soul will understand that it can trigger the identity of the personality of the ego with the idea. You'll reflect on the circumstance and you will recognize this is something to learn from. Each lesson sheds light on who you truly are and leads you towards your purpose. Even though a human may not fully remember when this is occurring, there will be some type of recognition. The point we want to make is that if you transition or leave your body before you complete the integration of the shadow aspects, as we mentioned in part 1, you can and may likely face this in the afterlife in many ways. There are many things that could occur, and this all depends on the person, on the path that was chosen, on the type of lesson, and what was contracted in the soul blueprint. A human may be able to see what they missed in the life review and choose a different way to learn, or another way to relearn what was missed is to go back into another body and try again. There can be times the lesson is about a negative emotion. You will see its distortion, such as fear. When this occurs, this can lower your energetic field into some scenarios that match or align with the same frequency of the fear, which would definitely cover an array of triggers that have not revealed their root causes. It can be scary to someone who has not faced what a negative emotion may look like when materialized in the astral. The astral is where most of this occurs, and it will take the shedding of the etheric layers as you release the glue that binds you. This is a metaphor for the attachments or baggage you have not released when in the physical. There are also things we can say that one can hold on to and is fearful of letting go of. These things can also burden the soul in its departure from the heaviness it carries from the material plane. Now, to make things much more simple and lightened up, to realize all of this being said is to give the human an awareness of their remembrance of who they are and the power they hold, including when they transition back home. For many things can unfold, and we are giving only a minuscule of the scenarios that can occur. However, knowing that you are an angelic being of light, and we like to use the word angelic because we know that you are the angelic human, you are capable of releasing this in an instant, and this is through the remembrance. We can give an example. One would be there are times that your guidance team will send sparks of memory or pieces of a wonderful experience you had. This will allow for you to remember from this glimpse the hopes or knowing you will see the full picture, or even a moment in time that can bring you out of what you may believe you are trapped into. You can never be trapped. You have the power to create anything, even in the most unknowingly situation that you find yourself in. This cause will only be by the weighing down of the fear or attachment you carry. A glimpse of laughter or a loved one will instantly align that same frequency and bring you higher in elevation. That releases the heaviness. This is one simple way we can describe to you. The more you hold the intention and grasp the glimpse of joy, love, or light, will it expand. The opposite holds true as well. Any thoughts of guilt, shame, regret that one will have for the things they did in their life they're currently leaving, we can say that those thoughts are just frequency and what you hold on to. You are not those things. They are experiences. As we have mentioned, those frequencies will align with the same. So there will be a creation of something drawn to you that you may need to face to see what the emotion will look like to you. It is possible to get caught up in that, but you have a mind, a universal mind that is consciousness, that is alive, as when you are in the physical body. So you are capable to remember and instantly bring yourself out of any scenario you draw to you by your beliefs. Now, we will say that beliefs are a stronger web that is weaved when it comes to energy, and that is why it is best to be open and really look at the belief system one holds. Those beliefs are creating your reality in the densest part of life in the physical, but also manifesting in the etheric life. It is there now. You will be looking at the reality of your creations, so this is a message of remembrance as well. It is really coming back to the real life and knowing who you are, which will eventually carry you to the truth of reality. Each experience brings you back to remembrance when you reflect on all you have lived from the perspective of love, and that comes from being the observer. When you can look at all things you experienced as the observer, this shows you the higher perspective, and everything becomes much more clear. Because this is not your first rodeo. There is never anything to fear when it comes to leaving one incarnation to another. We hope this answered your questions, so we will conclude this transmission. May you take any part of this message that will activate something within you, and you are free to leave the rest.